Good evening. Welcome everyone to Taxonomy Tuesday, brought to you by the New Jersey Mycological Association. My name is Lila, and I am the host for this evening, April 28th, 2026. So welcome everyone. This is a virtual gathering where we take turns sharing photographs or observations posted to INAT or Mushroom Observer of fungi that we have recently found. The season has started, so we are focusing tonight on member finds in the past week or so. But of course, if you've something that you found at some other point of time that you want to show off, or you want us to try to help with the identification, by all means, bring that to the discussion. So we'll take turns going around sharing. So if you have something to share, drop your name into the chat window and we will get started. So hopefully people have been finding some things, even though it's been relatively dry. There has been some rain in New Jersey, so let's see what people are finding. And I'm going to look to see if anybody has emailed in anything that they would like to show. Okay, Hunter has sent some things in. All right. So, who's found some things that wants to get started? Nobody? All right. We will go to the email then. Maybe a short meeting.
Chris has one, he said.
Oh, there he is. Okay, Chris. Super.
Yeah, let me share here. This is one I shared I don't know, like a week or two ago. Uh, this one. So I was asking if this clear or whitish one was maybe something different. But we walked by this same log over the weekend, and every one of these yellow ones was all whitish, clearish, like that one. So I
Maybe
don't
a
know if they just get,
parasite.
yeah, I don't know if they get washed out or what, but I mean, they look, you could see that one. It still has all like the same kind of definition as the other one, but they all turned into that. And there
So
was,
the old yellow golden fruit bodies became pale, the exact same fruit bodies?
yep,
Hmm.
every fruit body that was like this. I think there was, I don't know, probably 20 on this log that's that's laying down, and I
Hey,
don't know, maybe
Chris,
two of them are still yellow.
Chris, in the pale one, it looks like there's yellow underneath.
Yeah.
Was there like a second membrane below it?
Not really. Like they're all just kind of washed out now. Like even the yellowish in that one, like none of them looked like that even.
Yeah, I see this pretty often, especially with Dacrymyces, which that's probably what we're looking at, right?
Fine, yeah.
I think I don't know what it is, but I don't think it's a parasite. I often see it after rain, and I think it's just like a waterlog type thing. But again, I don't know.
Yeah, I just thought it was interesting that like there was just the one. I don't know, maybe they age out or something, but I mean, usually like I have some hardwood logs in the yard that get it's probably not Dacrymyces, but like all the other jellies seem to persist longer with their color or I don't know. I've never seen them all do that. But
I
yeah,
also
that
see it. I also see it pretty often with Exidia. Um, the more often the nigricans or the granulosa. I don't know if there is really a distinction between the two, but the really dark ones that are kind of more um, almost resupinate, kind of more flat looking. I see it a lot with those darker Exidia as well. I don't know. I think it might just
interesting.
be a pigment thing with these jellies.
Did you do any micro work on him, Chris?
No, but we walk past this log. I mean, probably almost once a week. Maybe I'll have to grab some and see like what's going on with it. I took a piece originally to mess with, but it dried up, and then they get away from you because it's like you collect something decent, and then it's like a grain of sand
Yeah.
after it dries up. Yeah, that was it. Just that they all turned clear in that real weird washed out, and it had rained, and then it was pretty much right after that. And as we
Yeah.
walked by the log, I was like, oh wow, they all turned they all turned clear.
Interesting. Yeah. I collect some and dry it and see. Maybe it is just something that's sensitive to the increased in moisture and sun effects combined or something. Yeah. I haven't really noticed that myself, but I don't see that species all that often around here because I don't have a lot of conifers to inspect.
I just put an example of an Exidia in the chat where you can see it's the same thing. Just one is less pigmented. You know, one fruit body is less pigmented than the other.
Oh wow.
Okay. Bringing that up. So what is this, glandulosa?
Yeah,
Oh,
like I said, I,
yeah.
I'm not sure how to work those two out, but even here you can see the
Oh wow.
pigment kind of fluctuating, right? It's not,
Mm-hmm.
parts of it are black, parts of it are brown.
Oh, that's, quite pale. Yeah.
I think there's probably another photo showing. Yeah, there you go.
Huh. I wonder if it's like something weird, like if you don't pick your tomato in time and then it rains real hard, it explodes. Like
I,
but
I
it's
think
caused from like that, that like turbid pressure where it's like there's just so much water it doesn't know what to do with it. Maybe it's something like that. That is a stark difference.
Yeah.
Yeah, and like I said, it's just I've noticed this before, and I've done the micro on it and confirmed, there's no ascospores floating around in there. Um, so, I mean, maybe there were and I missed them, but theoretically, at that point, it's not being like hypomicized or parasitized.
That's
Yeah.
cool.
All right, well, a mystery we still don't have a good explanation for. All right. Thanks for adding that, Brandon. All right, let's see. Anybody else in the chat with something to share? Let's see.
I mean, I have a couple things, but I haven't done the work on them. Mitrula are out in South Jersey, but I
Okay.
haven't done the micro on them or anything.
Let's see 'em. I love those.
All right. Lila, if I just put a couple in the chat, would you be able to share them from your screen?
Yeah, I can do that.
Let's see. So the Mitrula's in there, and I'm going to put another Pizziza for after that.
Okay, let's start with the Mitrula first here. All right.
Yeah, I mean, we've seen them before. They are really cool, but without doing the micro on them, you just got to kind of call them Mitrula.
How many species options are there, practically speaking, for this area?
Two, right?
There is so from this location, this is a known population for me. I over the last month or so, I've been popping in. It's right off of a road I'm on all the time, so I just kind of pop in to see if they're out yet. So it's a known population. And from this location, I found both elegans and lunulataspora. So those are the main two.
Mhm.
There is this third Palidosa. I think that's it. Um, but yeah, I'm not sure how valid that species is, or if it's found here. But there were hundreds of these at this location.
Very cool. They're like yellow-tipped matchstick looking things.
Yeah.
Quite
Yep.
small though, based on these pine needles. I would say they're quite tiny.
Yep. Couple centimeters.
Okay.
Does that
Growing
spot
well.
have that semi-moving water, or is it pretty still?
Uh, it's moving. Uh, some places it's virtually stagnant, right? Um, but I imagine there's some movement there. And then in other locations, you can clearly see there's some water movement.
Yeah, I haven't
Nice.
seen any in my spot yet.
Yeah, I think I've only seen this Mitrula once or twice, so I haven't looked for any yet this year. I should try to find some.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know because the ecology that these are found in is not an uncommon ecology, right?
Mhm.
Um, so I wonder why these are kind of infrequently, you know, found, or because they're pretty distinct looking.
People don't want to get their feet wet, maybe.
Man, I was
Yeah.
just gonna say it's the shoes.
Do you find them throughout the season or only in the spring?
Nope, they are spring. and I think they have a pretty short window. They're similar to morels, really. They have a pretty short season and strict season.
Are they ascomycetes?
Yes.
Cool.
Yep. And they're fun ascomycetes in that, a lot of the times, oh, what's the difference between these species? It's very uh, similar spore dimensions and things like that. So they're hard. A lot of ascos are hard to get to species sometimes. But these two, at least Lunulataspora and elegans, the spores are very distinctive. So, you can get an answer pretty much with just a spore drop.
The tallest ones are only centimeters, not even an inch.
Mm, maybe an inch, maybe a little more than an inch.
Cool.
Top to bottom. Well, top to bottom, yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
because what you see here, there is a lot kind of going down into the debris there as well. But I can never figure out what they're growing off of because once you get to the bottom of it, it's just all slime, like, pond scum.
Cool.
What's the base like? Does it have like mycelial threads, or is it bulbous, or
No, it just kind of morphs into whatever it is growing on, right? So presumably uh, dead leaves, and that those dead leaves that have been underwater are like I said, they're slime. So it's really hard to distinguish between where the actual base of that thing is, um, and the sludge that it's growing off of, because they're pretty fragile as well.
Maybe you could take a sample for your little pets from this area and then get a sidebar Mitrula.
That would be cool. I did collect some of this submerged material, and it's drying, so
perfect?
we'll see.
All right. Nice. All right, we'll go to the next thing here. Which is 1460. Ooh.
Oh, I was muted. Sorry. Um, yeah, I'm calling it what? Phylloscypha, phylogenia. Is that what it is? Phylogenia.
Gina,
Uh,
yeah.
I don't know. These things are kind of difficult to me. And again, I haven't done the micro. I think micro, just from a spore drop, can give you some good information to lock in Phylloscypha. I think they have pretty big and very varicose um, spores that are kind of unique. And you can see this purple coloration. I hope that's coming through on the photo.
Yeah.
It was more purple to the naked eye, but yeah, definitely a hint of purple going on there. And then tough to make out, but there is some like I don't know, ornamentation. It's not quite tomentose, a little warted, kind of granular.
Yeah. Little scales. Little.
Yeah, a little scaly.
Cool.
And then I think one
Ooh.
thing that I read,
Oh
because
wow.
I just put this up as, Pizzaceaceae at first, but one thing that I was reading for this species is the olive brown Hymeneum. And
Mhm.
yeah, I mean, that's a pretty good olive brown right there, I think.
Yeah. Yeah, I would agree with that for sure. Very nice photo.
Thank you. Yeah, this was, I mean, that's kind of like a great specimen too.
You know, if that photo's so weird. Like if there was a such thing as whatever the reverse of a dumpling is, that is it. Like the negative of a dumpling.
Yeah,
Yeah,
the picture of a dumpling from the inside.
Yes.
yeah, 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 all pinched together at the top. Yeah. Man. How was this in terms of its robustness? Was it frail? Did it hold up well
No,
to the
it was frail. I
was
mean,
frail?
yeah, you maybe in one of these photos you can see. So this is after I collected it, and right around like the 7, 8 o'clock there, 7:30, you can see that it just I was handling it as gently as I could, and it even split. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Well,
So they're pretty.
I did you did amazingly well to get it in your hand like this, I think. I've never had good luck picking those kinds of things up. Is this one here too?
So
Yeah.
that's the one. That's the one that I
Yeah.
collected. That's
Okay,
the
in your
one that was
hand.
in my hand. Yep.
Okay. Yeah,
But yeah.
nicely opened
Mhm.
versus these over here.
Which
Mm.
they like. This species likes to do that. The ones in the upper left, they kind of often are growing in a clump. So I think this one individual over to the right there, that's why it's such a perfect specimen because it was growing by itself. Um, but yeah, they like to do that. What do you want to call that? Like a taco shape before they mature.
Yeah. Pinch, it looks like maybe there's some in here too.
Yep, there's a
Yeah.
leaf over one right there.
Yeah. Okay. Cool.
Oh, those are so much darker though, the others.
So the one you're talking about the one under the leaf and the one on the right.
Yeah.
So the one on the right is the one in my hand that
Oh, okay. Mm-hmm.
it's just you got to get the light right, you know.
Right. Cool. Okay. Yeah, I can see that now. It's got the pinched center. Cool. Beautiful, really.
Yeah, yeah. And I think another thing that really supports Phylloscypha, phylogenia is the season right now. You know, there's a couple early Physaceae species that come out, um, and this is one of them. And I think this ID is better than what is it, Badia or Varia,
Hmm.
which are other early season species.
Hmm. Which of those is, grows to be the largest? There's something that gets like, 5, 6 inches across, I think. Do you know which one?
I don't, but I wouldn't be surprised if even this one might. Um,
Okay.
but I mean, Varia is the one that, like, you know, don't know what it is. Call it Varia, right?
Hmm.
Yeah, I think I get the Varia usually in my yard, and they seem much larger than these. And like the scalier or whatever, much rougher on the outside.
See, these are pretty, uh, in my opinion, these are pretty big for some of the things that we've discussed. I mean, you can see it in my hand. These were 2 inches.
Yeah.
You know, I don't have very small hands. They're, they're probably bigger. This one's probably bigger than a little bit bigger than 2 inches. There's a photo with a penny in here somewhere.
There we go.
Oh yeah.
So pretty.
All right.
Cool.
Very
Thanks.
good. Thank you for sharing. Okay, who else? I've got a couple. Let me see if I can pull up my observations here. Okadoke. All right. Anybody else in the chat yet? No? All right. So let me start with this one here. Here again. Where is the share? Okay. All right. I think this is some sort of Inocybe. Just found it this afternoon. What it looked like growing in this, I don't know, some kind of hair cap moss or something. It's actually in the yard. There are some white pines nearby, but really fibrous cap.
Would you call that tomentose?
Tough to say on the cap.
Yeah.
I think I would, honestly. Do we have a shot of the stipe?
Yeah, let's see what else I've got here.
The stipe does have the linear striations.
Here's another one that was growing maybe a foot and a half away. I think it's probably the same
Yeah.
thing.
Yeah, and I think this shot. Well, I mean, the first time I saw the first cap that I saw, I was like, oh, that might be Lacrymaria. Uh,
Right.
but I think you're right here. I think this is an Inocybaceae at the very least.
Yeah.
Yeah, originally I was on the same thought, but the gills just don't, you know. Yeah.
Yeah, because how do you say that?
No, you had it
Lacrymaria?
right.
Yeah,
Lacrymaria.
good. Lacrymaria.
Lacrymaria.
That's one I can never get out right. Uh,
Nobody can. I say I actually do it real weird. To remember it. I say La Cry Maria.
Yeah.
um, but that is dark spored, right? They're
Lac.
Yeah.
killing.
Yeah.
Oh, there you go. Yeah, Inocybaceae.
Yeah.
Nice. That is a swell thing to put your spores on.
Yeah. So, and then I got a secondary print right over here that's just got a few. So maybe later tonight I'll throw this under the microscope and look at it. But that's
Yeah,
as far as I got with it.
yeah. Inocybaceae spores are fun to look at a lot of the times if it turns out that they're the nodulose ones.
Yeah. Yeah, that'll be confirming if I see that. Well, anyway, that was
Or
nice.
it'll be
Hey,
confirming either way because I think Lacrymaria uh, has really big spores, or there's something unique about those spores. I forget what it is.
Yeah.
But there's something unique about them as well.
Okay. All right. Well, cool. I'll try to play with it some later.
But yeah. The first photo you had here. Yeah. No, that
This one.
one.
Yeah.
That one right there. Put that one in your file for the contest.
You like that one, do you? Okay.
I don't know. It says something. It's good.
I think it's one of the first fleshy capped mushrooms I've seen this year, so it gets a prize for that, I guess. All right.
I think the Lacrymaria has more patterning on the stipe as well.
Marginate gills on the Lacrymaria.
Yeah, and darker gills. These gills are not very
Yeah,
dark.
yeah.
So yeah, but interesting INAT. Well, depending on which photo I showed it. I think this photo it wanted to say Lacrymaria. Um, so it's one of the possibilities, but yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
if you do end up throwing some of this under the scope, uh, I mean, take a look at the spores, but you really want to look at the the gills. Do a smash mount of the gills and see if you can get some of those really nice Inocybe cystidia, which would help you place it into a family.
Okay.
Or
I'll
or
try. I'm not very good at gills smash mounts, but I'll try.
yeah,
Practice. It's all practice, right?
just take a little bit of the edge. That'll at least tell you if there's chylocystidia present or not. I mean, whether you want to make certain there's pleuro and chylocystidia, that can be difficult. But if you just take your tweezers and take the very smallest edge of the gill,
Mm-hmm.
you'll be able to find out if there's chylocystidia and if they look, have the horns at the top or whatever you want to call that, the little toupee that the Inocybaceae cystidia have.
Okay. Okay. All right. We'll see. I'll see if I can find something and share it next week. All right. And then this was kind of like a drive-by finding a big old wood chip pile. And I'm like, wait, there's mushrooms there. So I hopped out of the car and took a quick look. And looks like Stropharia to me.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Yeah. The gills kind of getting this purplish color.
Well,
And
I think you highlighted it on that last photo, the spore deposit right on the end, the
oh, right here,
annulus.
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yep. Yep. That kind of purple black spore deposit. But yeah, look at how these are all cracked. I think that's a sign of just, drying out too, not enough moisture. So yeah, so actually these two are not the ones in this picture. These are two other ones that looked a little fresher.
I was
Um,
going to say the color from underneath is so much better than on the tops.
yeah, yeah, yeah. No, it's they were like a group of like three or four here that were a little fresher. I saw second, so that's where I picked and put these two on their side.
Did you have wine cap spawn in your wood chips or in these, do you know? Or
I don't. I have deployed wine cap spawn in my own yard, but this is not my own yard, and I don't know if this place, ever had any put in. It's possible.
it looks like that species, I think I mean it could be.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, the one. Yeah, it does. So
Well,
anyway, that was a nice surprise to see those.
And
The-
did you find these before or after the rain?
After I found them today. So when did we have the rain?
So that would make sense to me. The cracking that you were talking about that
Mm-hmm.
you assume was due to dryness, it is, but this happens after a dry period, and then we get the rain. So they kind of puff out right after the rain
Mm-hmm.
on that already dried Piliopellis. So they kind of
Okay.
explode through that after the rain.
Ah, okay. So they came up and then they did that, and now they're just drying out. But yeah, you can see the stipe exploding, like you say. Yeah.
So are there non-edible Stropharia species? I know there's a Taxonomy Tuesday talk on that group, but um, are there some ones that aren't edible, or can they all be kind of assumed as edible?
Yeah,
That's a good question.
edibility isn't my thing, but there are more Stropharia than just rugosoannulata. It's not a a tiny genus, and the larger family is definitely includes some toxic species. Uh, the family includes like Hyphiloma,
Right.
Agrocybe. I think we talked about that a couple weeks ago.
Okay, but Stropharia, we're not positive, but maybe. Okay. Yeah, I know there's a few others at least.
Yeah, there are a couple. These, had they been in better shape, I might have taken them to eat.
They do look like rugosoannulata.
Yeah, with the wine-colored cap and then this purple business going on with the gills. It looks, there's a lot of slug damage in here, but those definitely look like the ones that I've grown from commercially procured spawn, this tooth remnant coming down here, and
Mm.
the cog is not in very good shape. Here's, you can see a little bit with the so-called
Yeah, they have like a double ring, right?
yeah, cogwheel, yeah, two
Yeah.
edges kind of to it. Yeah. So, well, maybe some more will come up.
And then just a quick Google search of toxic Stropharia. Uh, there are some blue ones that I don't think we get in North America. Some of the
Oh,
more exotic looking blue ones. And they say maybe that's poisonous, but even that looks like it's debated.
oh
The
yeah.
effect of
And
the
like
effect of poisoning and toxic constituents are unclear. But
okay, cool.
All right. Here's a puffball. I believe this is Bovista pila. And it grew last year. This is found in a hayfield. As a kid, I used to find them in the lawn a lot, but the outer surface gets quite shiny, and this pileus breaks open, and the spore mass inside. It's not really purple. It's more brown to me than purple. So that's why I think it's pila as opposed to some of the other ones that get purple. Not very big. Here you can see I'm pinching it in my fingers, and it's given off lots and lots of spores. So I was just out walking around through the hayfield and spreading spores for a couple of minutes.
And then, so presumably this wasn't attached to anything, right? Like you just picked it up.
I just picked it up. Yep, it's completely
Yep.
loose.
And
And there,
they call it tumbling.
yeah, because I think it just generally gets, matures, comes loose, and then just gets blown around like a tumbleweed.
That's cool.
So that was that one. And then I look for this Cystofilobasidium mascerans. So the part of interest is this orange material. And what happens is the tree, this is that American ironwood, gets injured. And in this case, somebody looks like they cut the limb off at saw marks as opposed to broke the limb. So a living limb, and it exuded some sap here this spring, and this fungus grows in it and makes this orange appearance.
Neat.
Yeah, this was kind of dried out, so not all that fresh, and you can see up here it's kind of white on top of the wound, but it seems to turn orange. I've seen it really fresh and almost gelatinous, very juicy in prior years.
I kind
Yeah.
of go ahead, Chris. Go ahead.
I was going to ask, like, what is it supposed to be like? Is it fuzzy but you just described gelatinous. So,
Yeah, not like a true jelly fungus, but much more juicy and not dried out and kind of crusty like this. I think it's, when it's active, it's softer and a little fleshier. And I really only seen it on this species of tree, but I would imagine that there's, so-called sap yeasts on the sap of other, tree wounds too. But maybe there's something about it that it catches my eye with this bright orange. Yeah, there's trying to take a close up of it. So kind of snotty looking, but anyway,
That's cool.
something different. I've shown it 1 or 2 years prior. I usually, find it April, May timeframe. And then just like we see rust on things, these are apparently some sort of a fungi inflicting this looks like a red oak leaf. So there might be two different things going on here, these light colored spots and the darker spots. Or maybe those are different ages. I'm not really entirely sure. This is not something I know a whole heck of a lot about. Tubakia suttoniana, something like that. Suttoniana? Yeah, last year's red oak leaves.
so this is like an active thing?
Um, I think it probably came on when the leaf was still attached and living, and it just kind of persists there through the winter, and you see it on the downed leaves. It seemed like essentially every leaf in the area was covered with this. So I don't think it's, too terribly detrimental to the trees, but it's something. Maybe it's just nature's way of helping to make those leaves decay quicker. But yeah, so I got to learn some more about it, but that's what Ina seemed to think it was. Let's see. So the lighter ones anyway.
That's very distinctive on the ones that are still green.
Yeah. So
That's
anyway,
cool.
Oh,
It's not
that's
like
cool.
consistently in the venation or anything either.
yeah, different spots. So I don't know. What I have may not be the same thing, but maybe these lighter ones are. I'm not sure. But I threw that name on it, and we'll see if anybody ever comments. Or maybe I'll learn some more about it and change it. All right,
Good one though. That's cool.
I think that was it. I don't know what this was.
On that.
Very hard. Was it coming through the bark on dead pin oak? Just as hard as could be. These things. And it was breaking through the cracks. So I don't know, Brandon, maybe you've seen something like that?
I have seen something like that, but it wouldn't be as hard as you're describing.
Okay.
Although, I don't know. Could this be sap?
I don't think it was sap because it was on, um,
In oak.
yeah, pin oak that was dead
Yeah,
and had been dead for a while. I think the
yeah,
bark may have even detached from the wood while I was handling it.
yeah. There's this oh god, tool. Is it Tucinella or Tulisnella? Tucinella, Tulisnella. Um, there's this anamorph of that genus that I was just trying to think of. Uh,
Mm-hmm.
the epithet is aureum or aurantinum, something like that. It doesn't look dissimilar, but
Mm-hmm.
the it being so hard that would be odd.
Yeah,
So
the hardness was the confounding thing about this, I thought. So, yeah, let me see what. Oh, I'm not logged in. All right. Um, yeah, if you can drop that in the chat, I'll try looking at it some more.
And
But
not to not completely rule out sap. Uh, you know, oak is a weird thing because like some pieces like when I'm working with oak, like you'll have like voids sometimes
mhm.
that it is like a hard, like sandable, uh,
Resin kind of thing in there.
yeah, that like over time, it like it it doesn't stay soft like some sort of pine sap or something. Like you could cut up pine wood years later, and that stuff is still gummy in there.
Mm,
And it gets all over your stuff. Whereas like oak, there will be like inclusions of stuff in there, and it is like crystal.
okay. Maybe it is some sort of sap then that came out before the tree died and just persisted there because it was so dang hard.
Yeah, I mean, it could just be slowly losing moisture, and that them things could just be like rock hard.
Yeah. Yeah.
I think that you have the correct ID. Cystospore.
Cystospora, you think so?
I do.
Okay. Let's uh let's look up cystospora. Let's see.
I think it listed the hosts above. Um, I wonder if oak's in there. That would be. Oh yeah. Okay. Let's see right here.
Hosts, okay. Poplar and willow, Canadon, maple alder, serviceberry, birch, hawthorn, silverbear, apple, and lachlan.
Okay. Shoot. So
Yeah, I don't see any oak. Yeah, it was definitely on oak, pin
right.
oak. So, all right, but
So
maybe it's some other in that family. I think, yeah, I don't, there must have been something when I was playing with this that pointed me towards cystospora, but I haven't had time to investigate further.
And I put that Tulisnella in the chat, a link to the Myco Quebec page. I mean, I guess it doesn't look all that dissimilar, but I think the texture.
they were saying that it's hard for cystospora when I looked it up.
Yeah. Yeah, and this I don't know as if this gets so hard, and stays like in that bead, like a ball bearing kind of shape when it's dried out. But yeah,
This looks different.
yeah, but somewhat similar. All right.
I'm if you go back to your uh, photo, there's one part that really makes me think it may be sap. And you guys know more about trees and stuff than I do, but there is one part where it looked like it dripped down.
Right here.
Now to the right, but I guess that could just be my brain trying to. It looks like it dripped, but it could be anything else.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know. Okay. Now, another mystery. Okay. Time for hunters.
Okay. I have a new email that I sent. If we could start with it, that would be great.
All right, let's go up and see.
So these photos are from my brother in Baltimore. And I thought so. It's all the same mushroom, and if we could just go through all of them, and then this is more mature, and so this was in a mulch in his yard, and it's got that same cracked puffy look as Lila's Stropharia, and I was leaning towards Stropharia myself, but I don't know. The gills didn't have that purplish. They were more brown, and I thought you guys might have some insight.
The Agrocybe.
Yeah, Agrocybe jumped out at me. Yeah.
Okay, okay. So they grow in those clusters like that?
Yes.
Okay. So, like which one do you, any thoughts?
Agrocybe is not my thing. I do think these are Agrocybe, personally. Uh, and, praecox group.
I was wondering, about praecox. So that will grow in clusters like that? I didn't realize. Yeah.
I
Okay.
think I think group is doing a lot of heavy lifting there.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Yeah.
Yeah, but those chocolate brown uh, gills, that's probably the spore color you're going to get out of this thing, I would think, which would be Agrocybe at the very least.
Thank you. Sounds good. I'll let him know he'll be happy to have a idea. Um, that's good.
Yeah, darkening up here. All right.
Okay. Yeah, and then I also haven't had any time to do any research, but I wanted to have something to show, especially if there wasn't more stuff. So this one I've shown before. It's this deer vomit, and its scientific name is Fusicolla merismoides, and it comes out in the spring on tree wounds, especially grapevines, and it feeds on sap. And to the touch, it was just dripping. I mean, had I wanted to do some microscopy on it, I mean, I would definitely have needed a container with a little lid, because it was really wet. But I like it. It's very pretty, the color, and it's interesting. And I have a picture of, I guess it must be grapevine.
Yeah, I can see the vine here. So it's like a broken end of the vine or something.
Exactly.
Yeah, and this is the same vine.
Right.
Okay.
Is this that same thing that sometimes like climbs up on stuff?
Yeah, I've seen it display differently, not just on a cut, of a log, but kind of all over it. Yeah, yeah, or even hanging vines it might be growing on, but I'm not sure what you mean, Chris, exactly.
There's just one stuff that's also like I don't know, like an orangey color, and it seems to like climb right up the stems of some stuff.
I could see
Kind of.
you doing that.
So this is uh, this isn't a yeast, right? Like the one that you showed, Lila?
I don't think so. I think this is something called something else. But it's sort of reminds you of that. What do you have the name? You can put that in the chat, Hunter.
Because I'm on both of this and what you showed. I'm not familiar with either one, but there is something that I've found before. I've I think the common name is uh, flux slime or slime flux, if that means anything to anyone. Um, which is some weird composite of like bacteria and yeast. It's like this whole other thing.
Okay.
Um, but yeah, just wondering if anyone knows anything about that as well.
No.
Wikipedia says it can be thought of in two ways. First, as a species of sac fungus or ascomycetes, and belonging to the highly diverse family Nactriaceae. I don't know.
Yeah, Nectriaceae would be, you know,
Oh, a slime.
pretty much.
Yep, a second concept of Fusicolla merismoides, often encountered in field guides, applies to a kind of slime flux, occasionally seen forming colorful, slimy, amorphous masses oozing and dripping from certain plants. It's a fungal plant pathogen.
Yeah, so Nectriaceae, when you hear that, you know you're dealing with a plant pathogen. But a a well within just strictly fungi, Ascomycota. Um, so you're not dealing with a yeast or some combination of bacteria like I was kind of thinking about before. But
Mm.
yeah, interesting stuff.
Yeah.
It's pretty.
Yeah, that's different too.
Yeah, and it reminds
Yeah,
me
nice.
that
Oh, go ahead.
no, it reminds me I found something a couple weeks ago, never made a post about it, just kind of took a picture and forgot about it. But maybe I can find that and throw it in the chat once we're done. You're
I
done with that next beautiful morel.
I feel like it's sort of new on the scene. Like I know I saw it probably for the first time 2 years ago, but it's not something I remember seeing in the woods. I mean, and I've been hunting morels for a long time, and I just don't remember seeing it. So yeah, here's some true morels. Probably americana, um, and they're very pretty. And
Yeah, beautiful.
yeah. We can move on. Um, I have some, yeah, and then here's the half-free morel. We had talked about it a bit. This is Morchella punctipes, so it has the little points on the stem, but also these elongated um, uh, pits, and a kind of bell-shaped cap, and then
Beautiful.
it's pretty. Yeah. And then I also have, if you keep going, again, keep going, then this one I think is, even though it's got those points on the stipe like the other one, I do think this is a Verpa bohemica. Um, the cap's not pointy or bell shaped. It's more thimble style, and then the pits are more irregular.
Mhm.
But I should have cut it open. That would have been helpful. So, because the Verpas are not hollow. So,
I just
and
saw a good video on that, and in the video, the guy cut open like he had like pictures of like every different one all cut open.
nice.
Uh, it was on the channel on YouTube, Mycological.
Oh, okay, cool. I'll check that out.
Yeah, I think they're two different species as well. I would agree with that. That's definitely more conical.
Yeah, yeah, I
Yeah.
think that's a bohemica. And so that cap would just sit on top of the stem and be kind of hang freely, whereas the uh, Morchella punctipes is a half free morel, so the cap attaches halfway up.
Mm-hmm. Cool.
Yeah, and then I have some Tremella mesenterica, which is butter, and it was just really pretty.
Yeah, nice specimen there.
Yeah, and then some Urnula craterium, some
Hold on the Tremella. I think we can see, which is unique. I think we can see the peniophora in this photo as well.
oh,
The
cool.
the crust.
It parasitizes that, is that right?
Yeah. So, um,
This
Tremella.
stuff here,
Yeah, maybe I'm not. Yeah, maybe I'm wrong. That's just the bark, huh?
I don't know. I don't know. It's hard to say. Could be it.
But Tremella parasitizes peniophora, and then there are other Dacrymyces that parasitize Sterine and stuff.
Mhm.
So there's more than meets the eye when we're talking about these jellies.
I'm seeing some lichen to the right of the tremella too. Yeah.
Yeah.
So what do we call those structures? Parasites or
Apothecia. These little.
apothecia.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. And then the difference between this is Tremella mesenterica, right? Or is it Dacrymyces?
It's
Dacrymyces
not.
is the one that's on conifer, right?
Yeah. This
And
is.
and so
Well, there are some species that grow on hardwood, but they don't look like this.
this is still called Tremella mesenterica then?
That's what I would call it.
Okay, good,
Yeah,
good. Yeah, good.
unless in well, unless there's some Sterium hirsutum growing on this stick, then it might be Naentamella, Naentamella. But
Okay. I was reading, so one of the tremella grows on the from the is it the tremella that grows from the bark and the Dacrymyces grows actually from the wood? That there's a difference there.
I've never heard that.
Okay.
But could be right. I mean the moral of the story here is these things were called Tremella mesenterica. All of the yellow jellies were called Tremella mesenterica for
Decades.
forever.
Yeah.
Yeah, centuries probably.
Right. Which is butter. Yep. Okay.
But that's a beautiful specimen.
It is really pretty. Yeah. It's nice. And then Urnula craterium, devil's urn. And it's pretty mature. I tried to blow the spores, but they did not move. And that's it. That's all I have.
Are those like new this year?
Yeah. Hmm. Yeah. They don't persist. They they don't really overwinter. It'd be really rare to find one from the year before. But yeah, with rain they'll bloat and open up a lot like these, and um, yeah, it's amazing how rain can change their form.
Yeah, I find when I do see things like this and I blow on them, there's a delayed reaction from when you blow to when the spores start to come up.
True,
Like,
and I waited and I waited,
yeah,
but it didn't happen.
didn't happen. They were exhausted.
Yeah, but that's very true. It's not instantaneous.
Yeah.
It's kind of interesting.
Yeah, that there is that, a longer than you would think delay. It's weird. Yeah.
It is. I agreed.
All right.
So,
Well,
so are these, do you know if these are operculate asci then? Because that would make sense. A
I
lot
don't
of those are,
ever ask all my seats at all.
oh, really?
Really, but let me double check. I believe they aren't. But let me double check.
no, but I see where you're going with that. You're thinking you got to open the lid to let the spores out, kind of a thing. It takes time.
Well,
Right.
that's what they do. Like the gust of air when you blow on it, that opens the lid, right?
Mm-hmm.
But then the fungus wants to throw all of its spores in the ascus out at once. So it waits a little bit for the lid to be completely open and then throws them.
Yeah.
Oh, it is an Ascomycete. Sorry. Okay, I don't know where I got that it wasn't.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's, yep, could be what's happening. Cool.
Yeah. Thanks for letting me share.
Thank you for bringing them. It's interesting. All right, folks. Carlos, anything to share? We have a new person here, Big Zero. Welcome, Big Zero. Do you have anything you would like to share? All right.
We,
Emily?
we were talking about those Lacrymarias before. I could show one of those because they'll
All
be
right.
around soon enough. Uh, what did I do here? Okay, here we go.
Yeah, they like to come out early too, which is why I was wondering that about lilas. They do that. It's early for an Inocybe.
All right. This is and I find these in the same patch of grass year after year. These were really wet ones. They kind of look more when they're dry, they're definitely fuzzier. They look a lot more like lilas, like they're wearing a sweater a bit. But you could already tell like the spores are starting to get bunched up on all of that. And you can see how dark they are.
Yeah.
And you could see how dark they are falling out and hanging on to that. Yeah, there you go. Now that it's drying up, you know, definitely a fuzzier look to it.
Yeah, the cap has has a similar look. But yeah, look how dark though underneath. Black, black, black.
Yeah, it's weird. The gills are not
Oh, wow.
uh super like dark like you'd think all at once. I mean, that'll happen over time, but that right there, that's the big tell for these. I find every time I find them, they got that crazy gill edge.
Yeah, and no, the hollow stipe. The thing I found did not have a hollow stipe.
Oh,
Yeah.
cool.
But yeah, it really, when you turn one over and you see like, you can tell that edge on every gill. You're like, oh man, that's weird.
Mm-hmm.
And then yeah, the spores, they're like little crazy Velcro.
Oh, wow. Those are really neat. I want to definitely find this and look at the spores. I know I can find it eventually. I've done it before, but wow, cool. Nice.
But
Yeah.
oh yeah, a full uh a full Basidium.
Yeah, look at that. Nice.
Yeah, they're fun. I like, right in the late spring, early summer. Every time I walk past that little patch of grass, I'm like, where are they?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I found these. I just found my observation from last year, June 20th. I found them. And yeah, the the cap looks very similar, has that same texture, but once you get looking at those gills, very different. Oh, night night mode here.
Well, dark
Well,
field.
Or
Cool.
dark field. Yeah, couldn't think of the word dark field.
what what's weird about these is the spores have color under the dark field, which like a lot of spores just appear kind of ghostly usually like this, but these don't. You can see they have their own pigment.
Mm-hmm. Neat.
Yeah, that's cool.
Yeah, I like those. They're one of my favorites.
Very good. All right, well, we can be on the lookout for those to come up.
Yeah, those are beautiful. I like those.
All right, gang. So
Uh,
anyone?
Lila, I put an observation in the chat of, I think maybe the same thing you shared. I would lean that way over the thing that Hunter shared. But I found this a couple weeks ago and
Okay.
just made the observation as we were talking.
Okay, let me share. Yeah, this looks like what I found. Yeah.
Yep, right on the wound.
Mm-hmm. Oh, looks dogwood or something. What is this? What is this tree?
Well, this was on someone's property, so
Uh-huh.
I was taking this from afar, and
Okay.
there were people on the porch, so I was like, I got to get out of here.
Oh, you could talk to him. Uh, yeah. Yeah, that's not the same species of tree that I found it on, but yeah, as suspected, it shows it must show up on multiple hosts.
Yeah, they're all three kind of very similar, but
So you think that that was probably a fresh cut this year, and then it grows on the sap. Well, I guess it's still wet.
Yeah, I wonder if the sap exudes and then this yeast or whatever in the air, right? It's all around it. It falls and the conditions are right. It just starts to grow, and it probably consumes the sugars in the sap that have been exuding out, something like that. And it just takes over the whole area that the sap's been leaking out. Looks like some insects drawn to it as well. Yeah, I wonder why that limb got cut off. Maybe it got broken and they cut it back or something. The people
Well,
that did it.
this was in Camden, uh, on a very small street, so probably got clipped by a truck and you know
Mm, okay.
decided to get rid of the whole thing. He was probably hanging.
Yeah.
Happens a lot there.
Okay. That explains that. But yeah, I think that's that same thing, Brandon.
Yeah, it was one of those things. I take a photo and forgot about it until you shared your thing. So cool. Thanks for sharing that.
Sure. All right. Good. Good to see somebody else is noticing these things and not just me. Poor bleeding trees.
I was gonna say, I mean, like, I hope
Yeah,
we would all, appreciate the tree, puking out some orange. You know what I mean?
right. It's clearly this is coming. This is a bleeding tree, right? Whether
Yes.
it's on sap or whatever it is, whether you know this tree took damage and now this is happening.
All right.
So I immediately was like, "What's going on there?"
Yeah. Cool. All right. Anything else anyone has they want to throw up on the screen? Okay, let's see. Three new things down here. All right. Big Zero says doesn't have anything. Hunter's got to get going. Okay. All right. I'm going to stop the recording. Thanks, everybody.